It's mailbag time. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Football Today, presented by BetMGM, the sports book born in Vegas. I'm Adam Azer with a special mailbag guest, Heath Cummings. What's up, Heath?
I had a lot of questions after watching last night's game, and so I thought I'd just come on here and ask the experts.
Are you familiar with the mailbag? Do you know how it works? Do you understand the concept?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you guys questions, and you're
yeah.
going to give me answers.
And Dan will be on soon. And I think actually Jamie might be coming on. We're having a big party on the mailbag today. So we're going to get to your questions via email at fantasyfootball@cbsi.com. That's the letter I. Your emails or your questions via Apple Podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review. This is a really good way to get your question answered. Leave us a 5-star review and tell people why you like the show. And then you can leave your question. But don't ask for those ones. Don't ask questions involving Thursday night players because I don't read them before. I keep forgetting to take my glasses off for the show. I keep forgetting. Sorry, I'm all flustered.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I had something stuck in my throat.
Here, I've got a fun stat for you.
Okay.
Josh Allen has 42 pass attempts and 11 rush attempts on the season. He had 4 games in his career before this year where he had at least 42 pass attempts and 11 rush attempts.
Wow. Is that a Josh Allen is a bust tweet?
No, I wouldn't say that. The Bills' offense is really strange right now, though.
But it wasn't that strange in week 1. It was just strange yesterday or Thursday.
Well, they threw, 24 passes in week 1?
Is that it? That's not a lot of passes.
23.
I'd like to bet it when it was 24.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's more concerning for Dalton Kincaid, I think we'd have to say.
Oh, yes.
I just ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I scarfed it down in like 3 minutes before the show, and it's just scratching my throat a little bit. You like peanut butter and jelly?
Yeah, that's okay. I'm most concerning for Keon Coleman, but second most concerning for Dalton Kincaid.
All right, let's do some news and notes here before Dan on the can shows up. Marquise Brown is on IR. So IR regretting drafting him. I'll tell you that. What do you think about Xavier Worthy for the next at least 4 weeks?
That was a really good one. I at this point I'm pretty much just think that my big concern about Xavier Worthy was that he was going to have to wait for something to happen to Marquise Brown, or it was going to take him a while to figure everything out. By the time Marquise Brown plays, Xavier Worthy might just be better than him.
It's disappointing. All right, do you think we're going to get to the point where Xavier Worthy is, started in more than 2/3 of leagues?
Yes. Like on a couple of bye weeks when the Chiefs are not on a bye, I could see that happening.
Not consistently, not week after week.
It just depends. I really kind of think that Rashee Rice might just be like a dominant wide receiver 1 in this offense, and Travis Kelce is still going to see 15 to 20% of the targets, and that would make it tough for Worthy. Did we ever get to a point in Christian Watson's rookie year where he was started in 67% of leagues?
I'm not sure.
Because that's the type of year I could see Worthy happening, where all year long he's scoring fantasy points, and I'm saying, yeah, but it's not sustainable.
Right. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. The next 4 games are the Bengals, the Falcons, the Chargers, and the Saints, and then there's a bye. So hopefully after that bye, which would be week 7, we get Marquise Brown back.
Would you like to guess Xavier Worthy's current start percentage?
60?
62.
Oh, man.
So I think we will get to a point where he started 67% of leagues, probably on Sunday.
I meant like he's going to be starting consistently that way, but fair enough. T. Higgins is out. I don't know if officially out, but he didn't practice again on Friday. And I talked about this on FFT Express with Dave, but Mike McDaniel, his press conference, it kind of seemed like they're preparing for an absence, not a 1-week thing for Tua. But what is your take on the Dolphins passing game going forward with Skylar Thompson?
Yeah, the impression I got was that Mike McDaniel didn't, and it's the same way I woke up feeling, like Mike McDaniel didn't want to talk about that at all. He didn't want to talk about when Tua might play football again. He didn't really even want to entertain the questions. And so I think the only thing we can do is just say, if Skylar Thompson is the quarterback, there is a 0% chance I'm starting Jalen Waddle. And I'm probably going to give Tyreek Hill like 3 or 4 weeks as just leave him in my lineup and don't even think about it. I'm most interested with what happens to Achane and the way that teams defend the Dolphins, because I think the too high shell coverage against them probably goes away with Skylar Thompson at quarterback. And then do we still see 18 dump offs a game to Devon Achane? Or is he just going to touch the ball 30 times a game?
Well, they played 3 games with Skylar Thompson starting and finishing in 2022, including the playoff game. And Hill and Waddle were horrible. Now, 2 of the games were against the Jets. 1 was against the Bills. Tough matchups, but those guys were not good. Even Hill, and that sucks. And Dan's here. What's up?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Dan's been so excited to be on the mailbag today.
I had to rush back.
What'd you shoot?
Sped a little bit. Not great today. I did a quad on 18 for 96. So
is it a snowman?
Not thrilled. Yeah, snowman on the 18th. I just really screwed up, got in the trap. It's okay. I had fun. It was a beautiful day out. And now I'm back in time for mailbag, and I'm talking some football. So
great. This is like the greatest weather this week. Unbelievable in the Northeast. Just gorgeous. We're here talking football. Yeah.
For the record, for those who don't know who are listening and are going to make their comments, I have Fridays off. That's part of the schedule. So it's not like I'm skipping out on anything. I'm coming back in time for a little bit of mailbag because I see the comments already building.
You know, I think just let the comments go. There's no days off. Dan, fresh off the course. That's there we go. I just want to start like with an attack immediately. And it's not an attack, Dan, except like I'm just asking the question because I've watched the first week of football. I watched the first game of week 2 of football, and I'm really thinking, like, was this early wide receiver madness with 30 wide receivers in the first 4 rounds just like the dumbest thing we've ever done as a community?
It might be.
The entire league is going to establish the run. Even the Bills, even like the Dolphins were running in situations where everybody would have been passing last year. And we've got all these wide receivers that we drafted in the first 4 rounds that are just going to be like, eh.
Yeah. I saw 2 crazy things, Heath, this week about that. The first is that we're catching up faster than we ever had toward it being more positive EPA to run the football than pass the football, which should never happen. It was more than double to pass in the past. I also saw just in 2019, the percentage of middle of the field close, which means a single high safety, which helps the passing game, has dropped significantly, like 39% in just 3 years to split field safety looks. And it's almost impossible to go long. So everybody just checks down. So I think you're right, Heath. The only thing that concerns me is like the whole reason why some of us don't love pushing running backs up is we're not going to find that out until a little bit later, because that's the anti-fragility argument. So right now, of course, it looks really bad, right? Guys like Joe Mixon are so much more valuable to your team than half the guys that probably 12 receivers we took over him, if not more. But it's
there were 12 receivers taking over Devon Achane and James Cook.
Right.
There might have been 25 taking over Joe Mixon.
Right. So it's something that we're gonna have to monitor throughout the season. But right now, teams are just doing like they're not going to throw into bad looks. They're going to either run the ball, like you said, or they're going to check it down, which could lead to maybe more tight end and running back receptions. Last night, we certainly saw that with Achane.
Look, we talked about it, though. I mean, we said we usually don't like going RB, but this could be the year to do it. And I said many times you have to zig when other people are zagging, because you're getting RB 12 when people are taking wide receiver 17 or something like that in drafts, you know. So, and also I mentioned many times, I think we all agreed, like you want to get 2 of the top 17 or 8, I always forget if it was 18 or 17, whatever it was. Kamara, Mixon, Walker were the last 3 in that group. And then after that, you had Aaron Jones, James Conner, whatever. But if you can get 2 of those guys, you'll be in good shape. So I think we actually approached it pretty well in our previews before the season. We did point out that it was a little bit too wide receiver heavy. Hopefully things get better, though, because
I saw Washington has the lowest pass rate over expectation through the first week at negative 30% in a game where they were down by, of course, their pass rate was expected to be pretty high when you're down by 3 scores the whole game, and they just kept establishing it.
You know, with Cliff, when he was in
quarterback running, though,
some of it,
he was.
But I don't know what people say that a lot when I bring it up. And I don't know why that matters.
No, because he dropped back to pass. Brian Robinson only had 13 carries. I think Eckler had 4. He dropped back to pass. He just kept running.
Right, because nobody's open because their teams are taking everything away in the passing game.
That may be, but they weren't just like, oh, let's hand off. We're down 17 or whatever. But okay. All right. Anyway, let's move on here. We got emails to read. We've got bets to make. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM, use the bonus code FANTASY, and you're going to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's what you do. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using the bonus code FANTASY. Deposit at least $10. Place your first wager on any game. You'll receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use the bonus code FANTASY when you sign up. Quick break on fantasy football today. Emails up next. Okay, we're back here. It's Friday afternoon for us. If you're listening, it's Saturday. Hope you're having a great weekend. Who does Wisconsin play this week?
Bama.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
I am just hoping they cover, but Van Dyke's our quarterback. How good can we be?
He's all right.
No, he's not.
You soured on him already?
Yeah, I soured on him after the first game.
I saw that. That was a shame. All right. This is from Dave and Flint. Start 3 in half PPR. Rachaad White, David Montgomery, Jordan Mason, and Jerome Ford. Rachaad White, David Montgomery, Jordan Mason, Jerome Ford. You have to sit one.
I'm definitely not sitting Mason, so we can rule him out.
Sitting Montgomery.
That's who you guys are benching?
Yeah.
I was almost leaning Ford to sit.
Ford's the one guy Ford's the guy I have ranked highest.
Okay. And I like his matchup. Just think Montgomery gets the end zone. Okay, we can go Montgomery to sit. It's not a great matchup against Tampa. Funnel defense.
This is from Chase. He says, "Dear Eric, and Eric." Where's my Eric sound? Oh, here it is.
Eric!
There we go. I need help deciding on my starting quarterback and my Superflex in my full PPR Superflex Dynasty League. So we need 2 of these guys. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, and Nico Collins. I think Nico might be the best one in full PPR.
Well, is it 6 points per pass touchdown or 4?
I don't know.
Let's assume 4 to make it tougher.
I'd go Lawrence and Nico in 4.
I was leaning Lawrence and Nico. I don't know. I'm not starting Caleb in that bunch. So, yeah, I'll go Lawrence and Nico.
I think I'm not starting Herbert either.
Yeah, I'm not starting Herbert either.
I mean, they can do whatever they want against the Panthers, though.
And what do you think they want to do, Adam?
Yeah.
Above all other things.
Well, they can do both, is what I'm saying. Derek Carr threw 20 passes and 3 were touchdowns, or whatever it was. 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. All right, this is from Robert. If we see a leveled off target share with the Lions receivers, similar to the Texans receivers in week 1, should I be trying to move Jameson Williams when I'm already rostering Amon-Ra St. Brown? What should I be looking for if I trade Jameson Williams?
Me personally, the answer is no. I think when you can find these offenses that are tried and true and locked in, and today's NFL, as Heath kind of went over earlier, with everybody moving toward the run, which wastes time, doesn't score points. There's very few offenses scoring a lot of points. The Lions are one of them. I think they led the NFL in points last year. So it can definitely be an offense. I think they were points per game.
Cowboys.
Okay. Lions are definitely up there. 2 or 3, Adam. Tell me where they were. You can look. 5th. Well, that was a terrible take by me.
Well, you might be looking at
memory
points and not total points. So I will
I'm talking about offensive points.
I will look it up.
The Cowboys had 7 pick sixes. I definitely am not counting that.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that I definitely don't count. But anyway, point being, they can support 2 wide receivers. So I would take them both. I would play them both. There's going to be very few matchups where you don't want to play them both, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope we get a bounce back from Amon-Ra this week.
Yeah, we should get a bounce back from Amon-Ra.
San Francisco was 1 last year. Baltimore 2, Dolphins 3, Cowboys 4, Lions 5. Offensive points per game.
Even taking out the pick sixes. Okay.
Yep. All right. Next up, it's pretty close though. Next up, it's from Mark from the current #1 foodie city in the U.S.
New York City.
Is that right?
Should be. There's no better place to get food.
Okay.
Literally whatever you want. I just saw a ranking actually by an unbiased source on one of these Instagram things, ranking the best food cities in the world. All 4 of the first 5 were from another country, and then the 5th one was New York City.
Did you just cite some Instagram thing as an unbiased source?
Yes, that was my source. That was okay. But I felt like there's some validity when all the other 4 were not from another country, so it wasn't like just U.S. ones. But it was not great sourcing.
I got to tell you, I'm going to make some enemies here. I'm probably said it before, but I'll say it again. I love Chicago. Chicago is great. I think it's a nicer city than New York City, and I love New York. It
is a nicer city than New York City.
It's like a cleaner New York City without all the scaffolding. It's just like I love Chicago. Chicago food is garbage compared to New York City.
It is.
New York City's food is that good because I'm sure Chicago food is pretty good. I've seen the Bear. But Chicago food is nothing. I'm not even
quite the same.
This is not a pizza debate. This is an everything debate. New York City food is unbelievable. Come up here, vacation here just for the food. Yeah.
Agreed.
There you go.
I've been to New York.
Yeah, you went to
you have like Sparrows when you went or something?
Dave took me to get some New York pizza.
Oh man,
I've been twice. I spent one day walking around the city with my son and my wife.
Nice.
Yeah, it was enough for me.
It was enough.
You didn't love it?
I mean, I'm glad I got to see it. I wouldn't ever I might have to go back for work someday.
Like today, if I could go to the city when you have a nice weather day,
walk around.
Oh yeah, when it gets nice and warm, and you really get the warm garbage smell all the way up into your nostrils. Walking around the city, it's really really nice, and the ambient sound.
You don't even know.
I know, like exhaust and garbage.
You know, it's a fun game.
Noise. I walked the Brooklyn Bridge.
You did? Oh,
yeah.
Impressive. Here's a fun game if you ever go to New York City. Count to 15. See how many times, if you can ever count to 15 without hearing someone honk their horn. Very hard.
Oh, I like that.
It's like there's a million places in the United States, maybe in Florida, that I would rather go if you just gave me a free weekend.
Sometimes I think that, Heath, and then like last weekend, I'm brought back to like a reminder of how good it can be. Like I went to see a concert at Pier 17. Adam, have you been to that?
Where is that?
So it's a rooftop right on the Hudson, right on the water. And as you go up, the stage is literally over, like behind the stage. It's an open stage where the band plays. It's right over the Brooklyn Bridge. So the background is the Brooklyn Bridge. It's unbelievable. You're watching tourists bike across, and it looks like you're you don't even know where you are. And then when it gets night, you're like looking to the left and right, just skyscraper. So like I'm reminded in those moments, like, oh, I can see an unbelievable band from an unbelievable location. And I guess I realized. And then we went and had Katz Deli after. You've been to Katz?
I've never been there. No.
Oh my God, Adam, you got to go to Katz. I mean, Katz Deli, that's the best pastrami sandwich by far. It's not even anything. It's not even close. Like, you don't even need you can do the Reuben, but you just need the pastrami.
My Chemical Romance or something like that.
No, I saw J-Rad.
I don't know who that is. All right, here's a question.
Russo's almost dead.
From Mark from New York. Dear Chris, Brett, Michael, and Matt.
Those are Cardinals or Falcons quarterbacks.
Oh, nice. I would not have gotten that. 12-team half PPR league. They're Falcons quarterbacks? Oh, yeah. Wait, who's Chris? Why am I missing Chris?
Chandler.
Oh, wow. Nice call. 12-team half point, 3 receiver, 1 flex. I drafted A.J. Brown, and then I took Devontae Smith in the 5th round. I traded Smith and Demarcus Robinson for Tank Dell and Brian Thomas. What do you think of that trade? Let me give it again. Devontae Smith and Demarcus Robinson for Tank Dell and Brian Thomas.
Oh. I think I still lean toward the Devontae Smith side.
I love it in Dynasty.
Yeah.
Well, this is an FFT Dynasty, Heath.
I'm just saying you should listen on Tuesdays to FFT Dynasty. I'd give you an A+ for this trade. I think I'd still give it like a B-.
I'm a longtime listener. I used to call in every Saturday night. Cool. I missed the guy that called in and rapped his question, but forgot his name. Pat, no.
I wish I was here during the days where we had a call in part of the show. That sounds so fun.
Yeah, we had a radio show. We used to do the show right in the CBS Sports Radio.
I can't believe that.
And studio.
That was probably so fun.
But it was on your off day.
It was on Saturday night, 10 to midnight.
Friday.
Saturday 10 to midnight.
This is a good tip by Rob Rotundo, by the way.
Tip gets you samples at
because they make the food in front of you. They make the pastrami in front of you. So if you tip them, they'll give you samples of this unbelievable pastrami.
I got an issue here with you guys.
Yeah.
Bad trio. All three of us have access to the comments.
Yeah.
This is a free for all.
It's a free for all. Damn right it is. Someone just said, Dan, use your newfound host powers to your advantage. And I said, you know what? I will.
Yeah. Did you put the Cats one tip up there?
Of course I put that Cats one.
All right. This is from Trevor from a city 2 hours west of Ontario. Not even going to try that.
Well, you didn't even read it correctly.
Trevor from a city 2 hours west of Toronto.
West of Toronto. Oh,
Jamie's here.
Another newfound host.
I don't think Dan is good. Like, I think Dan is so bad at this. I don't think he's going to get this reference.
Okay.
Dear Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Scrooge.
Ducks, some kind of ducks thing. Scrooge McDuck.
You don't know the name of the show? Are you kidding?
Huey, Louie, Dewey, and Stooge.
Scrooge.
Scrooge. The only Scrooge I know is that dude from like the Christmas stories.
Yeah, Scrooge McDuck. It's DuckTales.
Oh, DuckTales. Definitely don't know anything about DuckTales. No.
All right, here's a trade. Give Amari Cooper and Jeff Wilson. Get Deebo Samuel.
100%.
Yeah, it's an A plus. From Jeremy in a town in Southeast Australia. Dear Bruce, Dan, Mark, and Mark. This one I know.
Bruce, Dan, Mark, and Mark.
Actually, wait. I don't know who Bruce is. Dan, Mark, and Mark feels like Dan Marino and Duper and Clayton. Was there a Bruce?
Bruce Hardy. Bruce Hardy.
I don't know him.
Was there tight end?
Yeah, that's him then. You old man. I'm being offered Travis Etienne and Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right. Getting St. Brown and Etienne, giving up Derrick Henry and AJ Brown.
A plus.
It's a PPD league.
Did you know what that was? I didn't want to sound stupid and be like, I have no idea.
I think he left the one out. I think it's a point per first down league.
Okay.
So he says it's closer to non-PPR settings than PPR.
I don't think I love that trade then.
Why? What's the difference?
Because I don't think AJ Brown is too far behind Amon-Ra St. Brown in that format, and I prefer Henry to Etienne in that format.
Okay, that's not
I think I'd still. I don't love it near as much, but I'd still like if they're kind of Henry and Etienne are basically the same guy to me, and Etienne's not ancient.
All right, but he's on a much lower scoring team, probably. We don't know that for a fact.
Well, if he's going to keep fumbling when he goes in the end zone, then
right.
Lower scoring. So, Jamie, what's going on over there?
It's another busy day.
You got Heath and Dan missed the Star Trek stuff from.
What's the Star Trek stuff?
Did you explain? You explain it?
I haven't spoken to them about it yet. But
Oh my god, I have not laughed this much since I saw the WH space RE shirt. It. I had to walk off camera. I was laughing so much.
I'll share an image.
Show me your shirt first. Show me your shirt first before you show the image.
Well, this is my shirt. Okay.
So you're going to Spock for Halloween?
Yeah, that
is a weird shirt.
It's a little weird. Yeah, hold on.
I'll really weird shirt.
And then this is like the Star Trek shirt. So
yeah, that is a weird shirt.
So I saw it and I go, you look like you're one of the characters on Star Trek that's about to get killed when they go to another planet.
Yeah.
And then Dave started Googling Star Trek phrases. And out of nowhere, he just yells, Khan! And I lost it.
Did you hear the setup for that?
No.
He said, because I had mentioned that they were renaming Everbank Stadium Trevor Bank Stadium.
Yeah.
He goes, so they're doing that. I'm like, yeah. He goes, you know who's made that happen? Khan!
Yes.
All right, let's read another email here.
It was so funny.
This is a Superflex question. Standard scoring, 6 point for passing touchdown. Superflex, Malik Willis, Bo Nix, or Austin Eckler?
I think it's
who's the first one?
Malik Willis, Bo Nix, or Eckler?
I'm just gonna go ahead.
Go Willis.
I'm going Willis too. As crazy as that sounds, because he has such a low floor, but the other two have such a low floor as well.
I'll go Knicks.
I can't put Knicks in a lineup. He looks so bad on tape last week.
Malik Willis is averages 78 passing
Right.
yards per start.
The hope is Matt LaFleur. He's never been in a Matt LaFleur offense, and he's never had weapons. I mean, I doubt it's happening, but I see almost no hope for Bo Nix.
You have written off Bo Nix as an.
I read him off before the draft. Before this point.
I mean, he scored 14 fantasy points last week.
Yeah, because he had a random lucky rushing TD. Is he going to do that every time? That was half
I hope Malik Willis does.
That was literally half of his points.
Yeah, I think for me, I just play the matchup. Like one guy's taking on Pittsburgh, one guy's taking on the Colts.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie, red shirts die in Star Trek.
I know. But it was just like the shirt, like
yeah. No, I get you.
The design of the shirt.
It's a bad shirt. It was a bad purchase. All right, this is from the.
And I don't want to give you so much credit that you're Spock. You're more like Bones.
I don't know what that means.
Say Bones, Bones.
Yes.
Yeah, damn right he is.
This is from Kevin.
That shirt somehow makes you look even skinnier than you are, which is crazy. Almost impossible.
Puka Nacua manager.
Wait, hold on. Do you think he bought this shirt himself or his wife bought it for him? What do you think?
His wife 100% bought this shirt for him.
There's no chance that Adam bought a shirt in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. I don't think Adam's
You're
gone
both
shopping
wrong.
in
He did this on his own.
decades.
I went shopping on Saturday
And he
By
was so happy
yourself?
about it too.
by myself. Yeah.
Like you
Why
were
is
out
Adam
in
doing that?
a store
Yes, I was in a
and you
store.
saw that shirt.
Uh-huh.
And you thought, yeah,
it would look good.
I'm going to give them some money.
It's a nice shirt. It's not a bad shirt. It's just
First of all,
It's
as I
not
told you,
great,
it looks like
dude.
pajamas.
It's not great, Adam. It does look a lot like pajamas.
yeah.
The neck's weird. It's tight. It's not great.
No, the neck's not weird. It's
It's
The
not
neck is
great.
100% weird.
it's
It's not great, dude. And it's only going to get smaller and smaller every time you wash it. This is tough.
no,
Listen,
it's shrunk
you-
already.
you-
It's shrunk.
You've boldly gone where no man should go before.
Yeah.
And you
Shopping.
should beam yourself back to the store and return it immediately.
I think it's too late for that. But all right, Puka Nacua manager. Should I add Tyler Johnson and drop any of these guys in a 0.75 PPR league? Oh.
Bazinga.
For those listening, sometimes I feel like we just laugh and it's like because we're seeing things. Somebody put on the screen, Gamer Eric shout out. He said, Adam looks like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Wait, somebody put on the screen?
Oh, I did it. Yeah.
All right. The question is, would you drop Nick Chubb, Josh Palmer, or Chuba Hubbard, or Tajay Spears for Tyler Johnson?
No.
Nick Chubb, Josh Palmer, Chuba Hubbard, or Spears?
No.
If you're desperate at receiver, like you have to start Tyler
No,
Johnson.
he only has to start. He only has to start one receiver, 3 flex.
I could be open to dropping Chuba Hubbard.
I would start Josh Palmer over Tyler Johnson this week anyways. So
Oh,
I
right.
would just start Josh Palmer.
Agreed.
And also, Kevin says, by the way, I think there's not much difference between yours and Dan's tennis game. Maybe just improve your serve.
What? He lost 6-2, 6-0.
It's really strange that they think you need to improve your serve in compare. Like that was the thing that Dan had the edge on. You had like 17 double faults.
Yeah.
He served underhand half the time.
He only had a
Yeah.
few.
No, I only did that twice, but it was bad. But I did have a few. But look, he lost 6-2, 6-0. Like the proof is in the pudding. The stats tell the story.
It'll be a
It was
different
not-
story next year. I'm just letting you know.
Well,
We'll
let's
set
just-
next year. A lot's going to happen. We're going to have Heath and Jamie announcing it. First of all, I'm excited for that.
no,
We're
you
gonna-
got to do something different than tennis. Like I want to see you guys wrestle.
Oh, come on.
no,
Like,
No.
dude.
no.
All
That's
right,
when it
this is
starts to
from,
get really
I
embarrassing.
could just cut the
We
sleeves
started to
off
things
that
like
shirt and you'd have a
that.
singlet.
All right, let's go to Jay.
But just real quick though,
Adam already has
if,
his wrestling outfit on. He doesn't even need to buy anything.
if Dan is telling the story, we will be here till next year.
That's true. You want to get into that?
Dan, you got 10 seconds to give me an answer on the tweet that we're about to read. 35 seconds into the answer. I'm throwing my hands up in the air. Heath is leaving the room. Production staff. This is on Wednesday's CBS Sports Network show. Dan just would not stop talking.
I have an issue. I'm
doesn't-
working on it.
He doesn't
I'm
do
going
time.
to therapy. I'm working on it. Trying my best.
All right. You know what? This is.
To be fair,
This
that
is-
Thursday show performed really well. Or that Wednesday show, whatever it was.
Oh, it's like a most watched video ever.
I know.
I can't believe people that cover sports for a living could be so unathletic. What?
We were not that unathletic.
No, we weren't.
I think from a distance from that view, it might have looked it, but I think a lot of people were actually surprised by how much athleticism we had on that day.
It's not a great thing. Like the bar was so low.
Yeah,
he called you a
straight
slob.
face even saying that. Heath,
called
I'm
you a
glad you got the
slob.
laugh.
All right, I got to read these two. I got 2 more emails here, and then we got
I got
fantasy.
better Heath. That's all I need.
This is from JW. Half PPR. Pick 3 starters: Henry, Kamara, Mason, Jacobs, Brian Robinson. Pick 3.
Mason if McCaffrey's out.
Mason's a
Would be
lock
one.
if McCaffrey's out.
Henry.
I'll go Henry, Mason, and Jacobs.
I will go Henry, Mason, and Kamara.
I'm sitting Brian Robinson. And if Mason's out, or if McCaffrey's back, then it's easy. You just sit him too.
Yep.
I would be Jacobs over Kamara.
If
This is from sorry.
if Mason's out, then Jacobs is in. I mean, excuse me, McCaffrey's in, then Jacobs in. You get it.
Should I trade away from Brandon? Should I trade away Jamison Williams for Chris Godwin?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but intrigued by this Jamison Williams development. He looked really good out there.
So did Godwin, though.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's going to be many weeks where Amon-Ra St. Brown is targeted less than Jamison Williams.
Yeah, all right, and Laporta for that matter. Did they even combine for as many targets as Jamison Williams? They probably did, yeah.
Jamison had 9, and Amon-Ra St. Brown had 6,
Okay.
and Laporta had 4 catches. So
yeah. 4 catches on only 2 targets, though. All right, we'll be right back. We've got the Fantasy Cops. We got your Apple Podcast questions, your YouTube questions, all coming up right after this on Fantasy Football Today. Yeah. League disputes. Marital disputes, perhaps. Let's see what's going on the Fantasy Cops. This is from, I'm sorry, I don't have a name on this. Dear Luke, John, Mark, and Matthew. Feels very biblical to me.
You nailed it.
Yeah, there we go. 12-team PPR league. My wife, whose team I completely manage, decided to join this year because the commissioner, my brother, was going to close the league because one of the teams left, and unless we found a replacement, he wasn't going to go through the trouble of finding a replacement. So he just says, all right, my wife will join, and he's completely managing her team. My question is this: would it be illegal for me to make trades with her, parentheses me, if the players I'm trading are reasonable for both teams? If she wins and vice versa.
Of course this would be illegal. This is the definition of collusion.
Did the person sign this?
I don't have a name. I can find the name. This is very funny.
Yeah.
Are we gonna put up for Fantasy Cops any of the recent developments from our own staff?
This is from Will, by the way. What do we?
our own staff meeting Adam.
Yeah, of course. I mean Adam.
What a shady
Shady stuff going on from Adam in the Big Burger League.
Not on.
That
purpose.
was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Oh, come on! It was not on purpose.
But you still allowed it to happen.
I made a mistake. I didn't realize I put waivers on for Tuesday instead of Wednesday.
Did you switch them back after you got the people you
wanted?
wanted?
The thing: the waivers would have came over from the last year's league, so you had to have changed it at some point.
Yeah,
legally.
Because
I would assume it was Monday.
Well, you probably did it on Monday, or you probably did it Tuesday morning, or whatever it was, the morning of. So
I know exactly. I think I know what happened. Remember Sunday waivers were on, and it's supposed to be free agency on Sunday where anyone can pick up anybody. So I went into the league settings and I changed that. And I must have, for whatever reason, saw that waivers were off on Tuesday and said, oh, I don't know why that's not on. So I probably clicked the checkbox for Tuesday and I screwed it up.
You know what they say, right, Jamie? When someone's that defensive, usually means they're guilty.
I am guilty, but I'm guilty of stupidity.
You could have easily fixed it, and you didn't.
I can't fix it. First of all, this is the Dynasty League. Nobody good on waivers anyway.
There was Jeff Wilson. We didn't know the outcome of how it was going to turn out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like me to give you Jeff Wilson now?
No, but I would have liked the opportunity to bid on him if I so chose.
Man, I wanted to cheat so bad in the YOLO Dynasty League this preseason when I realized that there's a button that's not clicked and we don't have secondary position eligibility.
Oh,
and we just changed Micah Parsons from strictly linebacker to linebacker and defensive lineman. And I have Micah Parsons. I was like, I could probably just change it and nobody was noticed. But
nobody would have noticed.
I would have done it for you.
Adam thought nobody would notice too, but
no, I don't even think I got it.
Everybody did.
Jamie's a hawk. If you do anything, Jamie's right on you.
All of a sudden, I look, I'm like, because I have my league separated Tuesday night, Wednesday night waivers, and I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something? Did I send check? No message, nothing.
I'm sorry, it was a mistake. Did Dan lose weight, or does his head just look bigger?
His head got a lot bigger after that tennis match.
I did not click that one. By the way, that was not me. All right, YouTubers, chill out. We are gonna not chill out, but we'll have your question too. Here's Doug from a city west of Los Angeles.
Alcatraz.
Okay, that works. Hey, Stan.
No.
Hey, Stan, Kyle, Kenny, and Eric. That's
South Park characters. We did it.
DuckTales. We had a trade in our league of Jordan Mason for Christian McCaffrey straight up.
What?
Week 1.
Wow.
Hold on. Easy. The commission immediately vetoed the trade. Several members of the league pushed back, including the McCaffrey manager who initially proposed the trade, citing that he doesn't believe McCaffrey is going to play or play much this season. We have no reason to believe there was conclusion. Should this trade stand? Mason for McCaffrey.
Well, it's interesting.
Conclusion. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. This is where it gets to the interesting. Some of us, like, they're managers, they're commissioners who believe only if it's collusion should a trade be vetoed. And that puts us in a tricky spot here because, yes, this one manager who owns McCaffrey is like, I just know he's going to get injured. It's that feeling that some managers get about their injured players. Like, just trust me, he's going to be injured all year. There's no evidence about it. There's no reports. It's just his own feeling. He doesn't want to deal with this injured player. But it does really affect the balance of the league, like competitive balance of this league, especially if Mason only ends up playing one more week. So it's like that tricky spot. I personally believe you let it go through. And then I've said this before on the show. It's very harsh, but you remove the manager who traded McCaffrey next year if you want to keep the league competitive. Yes, I do believe that. It's up to you. You don't have to have a competitive league. You can keep going forward and have just like bonkers trades that ruin the competitive balance year after year. And that's fine. Or you remove the managers who do things like this.
You have two choices. Two choices. You let the trade stand.
Dan must not have a lot of friends.
Or you kick them out of the league for collusion. And that's Jamie, do you remember the trade?
But
because I always bring this trade up.
Kick him out.
Do you remember the trade that like somebody quit one of our leagues over like 8 years ago that you made? It was like the last year of Jamal Charles. It was the year Devontae Freeman was the RB1 overall.
Yes.
And you made a trade with somebody after week 1, I think.
I traded for Jamal Charles. I traded Devontae Freeman. It might have been, what was the receiver for Carolina that was good as rookie season? 2014.
Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
Kelvin Benjamin. I traded Devontae Freeman, Kelvin Benjamin, and somebody else. And they were all good players. They weren't scrubs for Jamal Charles. For that team had Jamal Charles.
What was
and
the
nothing
issue
else.
then?
Somebody got all pissed off that I was trying to do something because of my job to somebody who's just a casual fantasy player.
At the time the trade was made, like Kelvin Benjamin was a very questionable prospect who had played, I think, one game. Devontae Freeman had one good game, and Jamal Charles had been the best running back in football for Christian McCaffrey, basically.
Right. And Charles was like, the way this league works, Charles was like it's a weird thing. But anyway, he was a top 5 pick, top 6.
Right.
And then immediately Jamal Charles tears his ACL and Devontae Freeman goes on to be the best running back.
I mean, I would not overturn this trade.
No,
it's
not either.
Mason for McCaffrey, and I'm not kicking anybody out of the league. And the McCaffrey manager is not trying to ruin the league. He has a feeling that McCaffrey's going to get hurt because he's got a calf injury. He's already hurt and an Achilles injury. All right, so
I got to make a call today on a trade. I'll see what you guys think. I have Jordan Mason. The McCaffrey manager has offered me Zay Flowers for Jordan Mason. My running backs, it's Saquon Barkley and nothing else. The problem is that I have my 3 receivers. My top 3 receivers are Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, and Puka Nacua.
Ooh, wow.
So I'm in trouble. So I think I got to make the trade, right?
I think you have to make it based on your situation.
Because if Christian McCaffrey comes back, Flowers is much better than Jordan Mason.
Yeah,
it's not just that. If Skylar Thompson's playing the rest of the season, Waddle is yikes.
Yeah, you got to do it. All right, where are we here on the fantasy cops?
I'm very nervous about that situation. Did you guys talk about that earlier today?
We did. Let's go to Tim. It says, go Bills. Hey, Fred, CJ, Booby, and Carlos.
Yeah, those are Bills running backs, right?
Oh, Booby Dixon. Yeah, nice.
Nice. I got to go. All right, see you guys.
Bye,
He's
Jamie.
going to do CBS Sports Network. Commissioner in my league added a punter to the rosters before the draft. He gave a heads up in the ample amount of time. I messaged the league and said, I don't think anyone wants punters deciding outcomes, especially since probably none of us can name a punter off the top of our head, much less predict who will be good week to week or season long. So I asked for a vote. Instead of a vote, the commissioner compromised by nerfing the scoring, whatever. In week 1, punters scored a range of 0 to 5 points. And Riley Dixon on Denver got 9 on the waiver wire. Okay, pretty harmless, hopefully. Maybe one game gets decided by a punter this year, which would suck. Anyway, after week 1, commissioner says the punter scoring was too low. So he's raising the scoring setting on punters. It doesn't change any previous outcome, but now Riley Dixon would have scored 14 points instead of 9. That's more than most tight ends. Luckily, I've added Dixon off waivers, but I'm messaging the league like commish can't be changing scoring settings during the year. His response is that he changed the rule because of my worry preseason that nobody wanted weeks decided by punters. So he's putting punter scoring back to normal now. Should I leave the league? Even if you don't respond on the podcast, I'd love to forward your opinion and thoughts to the league. We are responding on the podcast.
Yes.
What should Tim do about this punter situation?
So the first thing is hopefully you're playing on CBS where you can start a league poll. And I would just put a league poll up questioning if the commissioner should be removed from office. And if you can get a majority of votes to remove him from office and then just have a new election for a new commissioner, I would not want to leave the league. You can't change rules in the middle of the season. If he wanted to stand by his guns and have punters deciding leagues, okay, you can decide whether you want to play in that league or not. But if he's changing rules after week 1, he has to be removed from office.
I mean, yeah, you can't change rules mid-season, and there are dark moments in every fantasy season, injuries, things that happen with your players. I can't think of a darker moment than having to waste time digging through a waiver wire because my punter's on a bye week. I mean, this is an absolute disaster.
Imagine losing on Monday night or something because of the opposing punter.
I'm losing understanding of how anyone would want punters in a league.
Yeah, well, they do punt. They do. I don't want it, but they do punt. They do something.
God,
it's good for them. But what was I going to say? You can only
kicker special scoring for landing it in that between the 20 and the 1. This new whatever this zone is called.
The landing zone.
Landing zone points.
That's the best. If you can kick it in the landing zone and then it bounces in the end zone for a touchback, it comes out to the 20 and not.
Wow.
All right, thank you for your Fantasy Cop submissions. We appreciate it. Let's get some Apple Podcast questions here. This is, I don't have a name here. Dear John, Emmanuel, Frederick, and Renee.
Oh, those are famous philosophers.
They are, yes. How'd you know that?
Just, I've been reading.
Good job. Start 3. I probably said Renee wrong. I don't know these philosophers.
I like that you did the little spiel at the beginning of the show about how you don't read questions if they have Thursday night players in them.
Well, I don't want to. I'm trying to move forward with that. But start 3 in full PPR. All right, we're going to say he started James Cook. So start 2. Jacobs, Jerome Ford, Brian Robinson, Ramondre Stevenson.
Would be Ford and Jacobs for me.
Yep, I'm on board with that. I could probably consider Robinson just because I like that matchup a little more than most. But it would be over Jacobs, but I would roll with Jacobs. This
is a good time to ask. I like permission to speak freely. Am I more of an idiot for drafting no Devon Achane this year or a genius for drafting all of the James Cook this year?
Genius for drafting all of the James Cook. Yeah.
I feel like Devon Achane is just going to be the number one.
Look, with James Cook, it's like, how did we not all kind of think that there was going to be some touchdown regression? I know we were scared of Davis in the red zone and Allen in the red zone, but like, there's going to be some touchdown regression there. And then that would be all he needs really to be top 12. So I think that might even what's the ceiling now with James Cook if he starts scoring touchdowns?
And he had a 1-yard touchdown yesterday.
Right. Yeah. Which we never got.
Yeah, it's great.
And it was like, I just love the fact they gave him a carry on the one and it worked.
And did
coaches
you hear Josh
seem to
Allen
be so influenced. Yes.
Right. And I love that post-game interview. Josh Allen's like, this was on our minds. Like I was stealing a lot of those touchdowns from him. And now he's got his. That's interesting.
Good. All right. From Tmar10, I need to start Chris Olave, but should I be looking for a possible trade? 2 targets in week 1 makes me nervous.
I just yawned and passed over that box score. It wasn't a real football game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think he should be okay. Hopefully he bounces back this week. He was one of the guys that we didn't seem too concerned about of the like second round pick wide receivers that struggled. From golfers, Golfer X88, Justin Fields or Brock Purdy?
Purdy for me.
Purdy.
Lewis on Apple Podcasts is in a fab league and he bid on Isaiah Likeley. He bid $12 and he won the bid. But the only one other person bid for him and his bid was $2. So technically I overpaid by $9 for Isaiah Likeley. By the way, he has Trey McBride. But then I see that Alan Lazard went for 16 and Madison went for 12. So I think I made a good deal. My other bench player, it's okay. But did I make the right move paying $12 for Likeley when the highest bid, the second highest bid for him was $2?
No.
No,
Yes.
Clearly. I mean, after the fact, we can say no.
Yeah, I think you did the right thing.
Oh,
I said no.
Yeah, but I disagree with both of you.
okay. Good for you.
I think you did the right thing. I mean, we were saying to spend more than that on Isaiah Likeley. I mean, Heath, you weren't on the waiver wire show, so maybe you felt differently, but we were saying to spend more.
Yeah, but you got to know your league.
How?
Yeah, but
What do we really think Isaiah? Like, I think Isaiah Likeley's a top 12 tight end this week, but we don't actually think that Mark Andrews is in trouble.
No.
So we don't think that Likeley is going to be a weekly needle mover.
Probably not.
I don't know. I think it's probably not, but I think you can't ignore the possibility. And
I feel like we're running low on weekly needle movers at that tight end position in general.
That's why you have to get Likeley. If he has any possibility of being that, then
I like that logic, Adam. Okay.
Oh, should I rerun the Isaiah Likeley or Dalton Kincaid rest of season poll?
Wait till Sunday.
The answer was that people voted for Likeley, right?
No, everybody voted for Kincaid and told me I was an idiot for asking the question.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It was like the Jalen Hurts, Trey Lance poll back in the day.
I don't remember that one. What was your Jalen Hurts, Trey Lance poll?
I even wrote an article about it. It was when I was arguing for Jalen Hurts over Trey Lance in Dynasty.
Oh, wow. Look at that win. Good for you.
We only remember the wins.
Yeah, this is the James Cook, Jalen Hurts block for Heath.
You asked me to come on. Are you not entertained?
Dan, Adam Sandler was in South Orange filming Happy Gilmore 2, according to
Andrew. Not only was he in South Orange, he was actually in Morristown, where I live, at a coffee shop. I'm so mad I missed him there. And then he also had a, not tryouts, whatever it is, auditions. You could be in Happy Gilmore. Oh, that would have been so cool to be there.
Yes. All right, here's the question from Lewis. Oh, wait, no, we already got the question for Lewis. Sorry. All right, let's go to YouTube. YouTube, what's on your mind? What's on your mind? Here we go. Half PPR, wide receiver 2 and a flex. Give me 2 of Worthy, Metcalf, and Neighbors.
I got these 3 guys ranked within about 4 spots to my rankings. I think 29 to 33 this week. I would go Neighbors and Metcalf.
Neighbors and Worthy for me.
Yeah. You know what? Yes. I'm tired of telling people DK Metcalf struggles against good cornerbacks and not being bold enough about it.
To put it, yeah.
So let's do it.
So let's sit him for the guy who had 3 touches last week.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Aaron Jones or Chris Olave, half PPR.
Olave.
I do not like Aaron Jones this week. Chris Olave.
Yeah. Especially if you're talking about oil of Olave.
Yeah.
Josh Downs has a chance to play this week, by the way. Why don't you like Aaron Jones, Heath, against the Niners?
I think the 49ers are pretty good, and I think the New York Giants are pretty terrible. And
Yeah.
so Aaron Jones' good performance against the Giants does not make me, in a game with a positive game script, does not make me feel good about Aaron Jones in a negative game script against a good team.
Not wrong.
Prescott or Stafford?
Dak.
Yeah, Dak.
What's on Dan's mind is the question.
Nothing right now. What's on my mind is how I ended my round with an 8, and I'm really not.
Was it a 3? Was there a 3 putt on that 8? Or
No, even worse. Got in a bunker and took me 2 to get out. Really rough stuff.
That's terrible.
Topped it off the tee. Had some weird yip moments today. You ever get those, Heath, when you used to play?
Oh, yes.
It's so
that wasn't something I struggled with a lot.
Okay.
But I don't play much anymore. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened occasionally, usually with my wedges. If I was going to have a problem, it was like
their wedges. I'm talking about off the tee because those kill you.
No, it'd be more like hosling a wedge.
I'll say this as somebody who has his own podcast: we should cut the golf talk right now because people hate golf talk.
Do they? Yeah.
I just wish you had a live stream of that 18th hole.
Yeah.
I just went on Twitter and did some searching for like things I'm interested in right now. I was not listening at all to that.
Gotcha.
Golf stuff.
That's good. It wasn't interesting.
So bad.
George Pickens, DK Metcalf, Drake London, Josh Palmer. We need 2. London and Pickens.
I'm Pickens and
no, I think I'm going to go Metcalf. I'm going to go London and Metcalf.
I'm going to go London and Metcalf.
Brian Robinson Jr. or Ford, half PPR. God, I really like Brian Robinson Jr. It's more golf.
I'll go Brian Robinson.
Ford.
Jr.
Yeah, I think it have to be Ford.
I like the game script for Robinson.
Christian Kirk or Jamison Williams?
JMO for me.
Kirk.
Especially he says his opponent had James Cook, so you need to go upside.
I don't do that. I do not. Okay. After Thursday, I mean, one of your guys in your lineup might score 25 points. You know, if he had done that on Thursday, would it change you? No. Some people do. I think it's fine. I don't like to like if I had played Achane and Cook, okay, maybe, but I just set my lineup and I don't even worry about that. JMO or Terry McLaurin, half PPR.
I mean, great matchup for Terry. At the same time, God, that Cliff Kingsbury offense looked awful to watch on tape. Terry was lined up at the X the entire game, no movement into the slot, no easy looks, just as bland as it can get. I'm going with JMO.
I'll go Terry.
Yeah, I think people will be surprised at how poor the passing game works, even against the Giants defense this week.
Comparing Christian Gonzalez to Patrick Surtain is criminal. Y'all are nuts.
Gonzalez is playing great football right now. It's still crazy. Not crazy. It's still not there, but Gonzalez is playing really good football.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is Surtain. I think Surtain is even like better than Gardner to me. Like he's just the best. But
I would agree with that.
A really good job on Chase. I watched every route for Chase. He was not on him every route, but he did a really good job. I remember thinking he was pretty good last year. So he hasn't played that much because he got hurt early last year, but he's certainly something to keep an eye on. He could be one of the real emerging stars.
Yep.
Greg Dortch or Jaden Reed, PPR.
Ooh, I'll go Dortch at full PPR. Yeah.
Mason, Williams, or Mixon?
Mason. Sorry, Mixon.
Mason.
I'm not benching Mixon after that.
If you had both of those guys, could your team be the Mason-Mixon line?
That's a good team name.
Did you get my Mason?
Damn it, I have Mixon in a league, and I almost traded for Mason this week.
Okay, it was The Rock. Let's see, what do we got? Debo Samuel, J.K. Dobbins, or Brian Robinson Jr.?
Debo.
Okay.
Dobbins.
Great team name. Heath.
Thanks, Eric.
Eric also wants to know, rank these 3 quarterbacks: Daniels, Baker, Dak.
Dak, Daniels, Baker for me.
Agreed.
Start 2 in half PPR: Christian Kirk, Demarcus Robinson, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Cooks.
Kirk and Robinson.
I'll go Kirk and Lockett.
If you were going to have a kid named Brandon, how would you spell it? Because Hondo here spelled it Brandon, which I've never seen.
D-O-N would be mine. Wait, you're a D-E-N?
Yeah, I'm a D-E-N guy.
No.
D-O-N is by far the most common.
If anything, it's a D-A-N.
And Brandon's is D-I-N.
So your options are basically O-N or A-N. Adam randomly.
You're right. It is O-N is the.
Well, yeah, that's right. But it's just a matter of like, you just can't throw an E. Nobody spells it with an E.
No.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now that I'm seeing it, you're right. Yeah. It's weird. It would be O-N.
A or O.
A.
Or I. And I works.
I is pretty cool.
No, A.
Brandon Cooks is with the I.
Put a Y.
Look, Jonathan says, I know a Brandon.
Ooh.
I like that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the new age. That's the new age spelling of Brandon.
I would do Y. All right, let's start 3 or sit 1. Chase, London, Worthy, Cooper.
Sitting Worthy.
Yeah. I'll sit Worthy.
A few more here. Pollard or Robinson, half PPR.
Robinson.
Pollard.
And who do I flex? Pickens, Ridley, Spears, or Javonte Williams?
Pickens. Or Mason. He says, yeah. Oh, if
Mason would be the answer if
Pickens.
out, but Pickens, Ridley, Spears, Javonte.
I go Pickens.
I'll go Ridley.
All right, guys. What's his name? Calvin Ridley got dropped in one of my leagues, so let's keep my fingers crossed that he will make it to me. He probably won't, but we're working on it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you Sunday morning. See ya.